All right, good morning and welcome to Dads with Coffee. Keith's on vacation, so I brought in a familiar face from last week. Good morning, Cameron. How you doing today?
Good morning. Doing great. I'm not sure I've recovered from Falls Creek yet, but hopefully soon.
Wait till you cross 50, and that it gets longer on the recovery time for sure. I
41 is close. I mean, I'm feeling it. Yeah.
yeah, he took the week off. Keith took the week off, all the way off. I just decided I'm working remotely all week, so I'm just at the house and getting
Man,
kind of taking a half pace idea.
I'm not trying to be the I'm suffering more kind of guy, but I haven't had a day yet. Yesterday was busing our 13 kids to Cross Timbers Camp, and so that was my task yesterday. So it's been full, and unfortunately, we've got some things, some tragedy kind of stuff in church that
Yeah,
are is going to occupy some of tomorrow, and then picking kids up from camp on Saturday. So
yeah, yeah,
a day off is in the future.
yeah. Well, I had a burial on Monday. I had meetings on Tuesday. I just met off campus, and meetings yesterday, and I've got this morning. I've got a meeting later on. So I'm
But
it's kind
but
of
you know
like that.
that's what we're called to, and it's not a burden. It's
No,
just part of
just what it
of the
is.
journey. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, for our listeners that may not have tuned in last week, why don't
Yeah.
you kind of tell us where you are, what you're doing, what's going on? I think they've gathered it by now, but
Yeah. So my name's Cameron, pastor at Aspen Park Baptist Church in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. That's a community right next door to Tulsa. It's actually a very large community. We have the largest in-person high school in the state,
yes, you do.
and my oldest daughter, graduated just this last spring, and 1,350 graduates. So for
That's
Oklahoma,
crazy.
that's tops.
That is
Um,
crazy.
been pastoring for 21 years, and yeah, so
So your middle child, your second one, you have four. So the second one is going to be a senior or going to be a
junior.
junior?
She's going to be a
Okay.
junior. Got her driver's license
Yes, I
in the
saw that.
spring, and she
Car,
is
looking
she's
for a car, I see.
yeah.
Yes.
And mom and dad are eager for that because we need another driver for this family because
Yes.
little
So is Bill
brothers
your
have.
dad?
Bill is my dad's brother.
Okay, because I saw him
Yeah.
pop in going, "Hey, I've got something,"
Yeah, right. Yeah, I wish it was my dad. He'd give us a car.
Right.
No,
Bill will sell it
uh,
to you. Your dad might give it to you.
exactly. Actually, we've already gotten advantage of that once. Emma's first car was given.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
So, back from camp, we're both staying very busy. Back from camp, life never stops, ministry never stops. But in light of Dads with Coffee, what's the most dad thing you've done this week?
I had two things. I was thinking about that. The first is probably the best answer, and that is I took a nap on Saturday.
Yes, yes.
Yes, just and you could probably relate. The older you get, the more places that you can just fall asleep. I mean,
But I can't nap. That's my problem. I just
at all.
not really. I mean, um, my kids would argue differently at about 8:30 at night in my chair, but outside
Yeah.
of that,
Well, and it's a 20-25 minute thing. I mean, I'm not usually, maybe on
right.
a rare Sunday after a long Sunday morning, but usually it's a crash on the couch watching a movie kind of thing. Um, but yeah, I used to not be a nap person at all. I thought it was a waste of time, but now I find myself uh, enjoying those a little
It's a
bit more.
productive use of time now.
Yes, it's a necessity.
Yes. And so the second thing that you don't think is as good as an answer?
Well, it's still a pretty good dad thing. So the oldest boy, Elijah, freshman at the high school, he's in the marching band. We
Yeah,
kind of shared
Pride
an
marching
affinity,
band.
right? We shared an affinity of that with your students as well. I am joining a group of the parents that is called the Ops, and so we spent 3 hours uh, destroying the props from last year, which was very sad. but with an angle grinder in hand and a saw and all of those kinds of things, a lot of steel cutting. And so very manly,
Yes.
3 hours spent Tuesday volunteering for my son's band.
My most dad thing this week was I did a complete brake job on my daughter's car yesterday morning. So all new rotors, all new pads, all new
Wow.
caliper. I did. I just,
Wow. That
just
is a complete win. I mean, I've
I
done the pads several
yep,
times and everything,
yep,
but to replace
pads and rotors.
the rotors, that's a big one. Yeah.
But the rotors, it's only like 10 extra minutes. It's two
Okay.
screws, pop it off, put a new one on.
Yeah.
It's it's not it's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's just the cost of uh,
Right.
the parts themselves, let alone the labor. After I got done with the cost of parts, I'm like, this could have been an extremely
Sure.
expensive situation
Well,
at what, $120 an hour for mechanic work. I mean,
right. And I feel sorry for, YouTube it, everything, YouTube it. I am a hands-on
oh, me too.
personally,
I did YouTube it.
anything that anything that I can learn and do myself. Our dryer, our dryer stops heating. Well, take it apart and replace the heating element. It's a twenty
Which
dollar
isn't that
part.
hard, really. Yeah,
It's not.
it's
Uh,
time. I have more time than I have money.
but I mean, at the cost, it's almost for some people they'll buy a new dryer versus spend a $20 part on a 30-minute job or hour
Right.
job.
Yeah. So at $250 cost, if you paid
Right.
somebody to do it,
Right.
it's
Right.
crazy. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, Tim is. I don't know if you can see the comments or not that scroll down the side. Tim's saying he loves his naps. That I just need to give it time. It'll kick in before long.
Yeah. I
So
need. I'm not on that part. So what? I'll go back.
I don't know. I thought I gave you opportunity to see those. Who knows?
Well, we'll get into that a little bit. I'm just still on
Oh yeah.
the yeah, but it's okay.
No worries. No worries. So, noticing your background, and we discussed this some at camp. You are a big Star Wars fan.
More
Uh,
than yeah.
yes, and see, I can't have these conversations with Keith because he doesn't watch this stuff. So my son and I have these conversations. But I threw it out there to you that maybe we would take a few minutes and uh, talk about Star Wars
Yeah.
movies.
Important material.
This is critical material.
It
We
is.
must rank the 9 movies of Star Wars. Now, I'm not going to
So
add.
I was a little offended because I'm going to add the other two standalones because I like them a lot.
Oh, I do too. I do too. I just started with the 9 chapters, but the Han Solo, I like it. The Rogue One, I like it. I actually, my son hated the Han Solo. I like the Han
I
Solo.
liked it too. And Eggerson or whatever his name is, isn't Harrison Ford, who celebrated 80 years yesterday.
Yes, he
Um,
did.
Still looking good for 80. But he's not, but it's still it was a good movie. I liked what they did, how they introduced Chewbacca, obviously the Millennium Falcon,
Oh
and
yeah. Oh
it
yeah.
had its own identity and character. And then
It did.
the android, the AI that kind of gets brought into the Millennium Falcon to even add another layer of that of it
Oh
as a
yeah.
character.
How they
So
downloaded her
yeah,
into
yeah.
the Falcons. So yeah, I liked it. So how do you want to rank them? You want to go lowest to highest?
Sure,
If we'll go 11 movies, I guess. If you want to add,
sure. So, well, if we want to add those, I'd have to think a little bit harder. But the tops, it's going to be tough.
it
Episode
is.
4 and episode 5 are right
It's the
there, side
originals.
by side.
You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah. Um,
you aren't old enough to have watched it the first time through. I did
Not the
in
first
'77.
two. No,
Yeah,
I was
I
born
did.
in '81, so
Yeah,
I didn't even see
you
Return of the
were
Jedi in theaters, but those were
right.
still right there
Sure.
as part of my childhood. I mean, I remember being a 3 and 4 year old watching them. Um,
If I had to group them in groups of three, which is kind of how they are,
right.
um, um, I did not like the first three as much as I did the other six.
Okay.
And I know it's
So,
backstory, I know it's there, but I wasn't as big a fan as
but
I was of
so
some of
let
the
me ask
others.
you this: Do you
Okay.
think sentiment has changed? I know when they came out, I was excited for them when they came out,
I
but
was
like
too.
you, I was kind of eh.
Yeah.
But now I appreciate the prequels more than I did at the time. I
Yeah,
think.
before camp, I watched all 11 movies before camp.
Okay,
I watched them chronologically. I spent some time doing that, and they're okay, but I'm just I don't know. I get backstory. I appreciate it for its historical backstory perspective of things. I just, for me, one and two, three was the better of the first three,
sure.
but for me, one and two, um, I guess when I think of Star Wars, I don't think of a love story, and that's what one and two was about,
So
to
then
some
let's
degree to me.
step back one step. So
Okay.
is any of the prequels better than the other six? Three. I mean, episode three. Is it?
Yeah. Um, Mm, I I think I think three might be better than six.
Okay. Okay. I'm with you on that. I would agree. And I grew up loving Return of the Jedi, Ewoks as a kid,
Sure, sure. You're a kid.
and
It's teddy bears. We love
I
that.
remember the Ewok standalone movie,
Right.
whatever trip to Endor or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I liked Revenge of the Jedi back then, but now kind of looking at it, it's like,
Yeah.
it's probably four, five, six in terms of the list of nine.
Sure. Sure.
Um,
Did you sense that seven is just three remade with a female lead?
yeah, but I didn't
I mean,
hate it.
I didn't hate it. I'm just
I
saying it was the same movie.
It was, and I it didn't bother me. There's a
No, it didn't
reason
bother me
why
either.
four was so good, and so I think seven kind of. I think from the from the sequels, seven is tops. From the prequels, three is tops.
Yep.
And so, how do those two fit in? And then the rest of it kind of falls to the bottom. I'm going to go with original. A New Hope is going to be number one for me, even
Okay.
though critically
There's some
people and even
nostalgia there.
I like Empire. So one is for is A New Hope. Two is Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Three might be Revenge of the Sith.
Which is three.
Well, right, it is. And then Return of the Jedi. Then seven.
So
Um,
where is your Han Solo and Rogue One fitting into
okay,
these?
so I watched Rogue One Sunday before we left for camp.
Okay,
And then I watched A
I
New
love it.
Hope
It's a great movie.
Saturday when we got back from camp.
Okay,
I loved Rogue One.
I
Loved.
did
I
too.
mean, rewatching it just a week
Yes,
ago. It's Man, it's going to squeeze in there between in that three, four, five kind of area for me. I loved just the thought put behind how did these group of rebels that sacrifice themselves get these Death Star plans, and I thought
yep.
it went so smoothly.
I thought nine dragged on. Episode nine. I thought it
See,
dragged on.
eight was worse for me. I
Okay,
hated eight. I just
her and
the
Luke on an
the
island.
the chasing the white Bronco OJ Simpson kind of chase it through the galaxy, as this super destroyer is following them, and then the casino scene. Well, no, that was in the last one, wasn't it? Or was it? No, that was in eight, where they go to the planet and
Yeah, well, and nine is when they go to you have to cross
right.
the ocean and find the thing and then get to Sheev Palpatine and
And
it just seemed to drag.
I didn't mind that they brought back Palpatine. It's just yes, it dragged. And where did the Force healing come into all of this?
The dark side, of course. I mean,
Well, but she was a
she's the
yeah,
granddaughter of the dark side king, so
yeah. I don't know.
I thought they added some things, and I'm like, I'm not sure you can just throw that in,
Right,
you know?
right. Well, they did the same thing with episode one way back in the day. Too much of the midichlorian kind of
Oh yeah,
info that was confusing to a lot of people, like
absolutely,
doing a
absolutely.
blood sample of the little boy, and
Oh, my son absolutely hated that. He
yeah,
just couldn't understand that at all, and he hated it.
yeah. So I mean, they've known, and but as fans, I think we can look at it as the broader picture and say, hey, this is fun.
Yeah,
And if there are holes, if there are things that somebody doesn't like, it's okay. Because guess what? It's a movie,
right.
and I can still make helmets and
That's right.
buy lightsabers and Legos and all of that kind of stuff, and enjoy it.
So, best battle scene, best
Oh,
lightsaber battle scene. Which one? Which one is it?
we're gonna step out of the movies and go to the new Obi-Wan series, man.
Oh, that was a good one.
It was
Yeah.
unbelievable. That and the last episode between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader,
Hmm.
Anakin, I-
Is
blown
great.
away,
Yeah.
blown away. Yeah. Um, Obviously the Darth Maul, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn
Hmm.
in episode one. For me, that's the redeeming thing for episode one.
There's actually a fight scene.
Well, and it's really good.
Yes.
So that, and I haven't gotten into the cartoons as much. I've watched some of them. My son, my
Yeah.
14-year-old,
Yeah.
I've raised a Star Wars fan
Yeah. I
that
got
is
one too.
almost, he's gonna surpass me one day, I feel.
Oh, mine already
He's just
had.
that
I mean,
passionate.
of course, mine's 20 and going to be 21. So
I mean, he
he's
sent me a video last night of some commentary on it and was just so excited, and I was like, kid
yeah.
is excited. Yeah.
You're deeper than I am for
Yeah.
sure.
So
So
there's some battle scenes there that are good, but the new Obi-Wan stuff, the new stuff that they're coming out with Star Wars is
it's good
really
stuff.
awesome. Yeah.
So coming through the years of Star Wars, we came through a period of time, especially in church life, where there were a lot of pastors standing up and, you know, uh, just derate, just demeaning the whole thing. There's Christians shouldn't go watch it because of its Taoist views, and
Yeah.
the whole idea of the Force, and
Yin and yang.
we shouldn't bring that stuff into our life. We should dismiss it and not go watch it. Um, and uh, and I always thought it's just because you don't understand it. But anyway, how in your opinion, with these kinds of things, because it's not just Star Wars, there's some other things out there. How do we as a Christian, how do we respond? How do we respond to that? How do we deal with that? The cultural icons
Right.
of our time, and enjoying them without embracing necessarily its teachings. How,
Sure.
how, how do we do that?
Well, I think first of all, I want to look at all the different things that we see in pop culture and society. There is a message of the gospel. I think I think it shows the need and the inclination for man to have what Christ offers, in the fact that the salvation motifs,
Hmm.
the savior motifs, the good versus evil motifs that we see in the gospel, so many other pop culture references embrace.
Sure.
And I've never been one to immediately villainate the
Hmm.
a Harry Potter
Right.
or anything like that, just because it has elements that might um, not look like
Right.
the Bible.
Right.
Um,
I mean, like in what you just referenced, I mean, ultimately, Harry is the ultimate good, trying to salvage the humanity, if you will, at Hogwarts from the evil that's pursuing them.
right.
So,
Well, and then the easy example is Tolkien
oh yeah,
or C.S. Lewis, and those were both believers. C.S. Lewis led Tolkien
yes,
to the Lord, and they wrote these fantasy stories
right,
that have really shaped, I think, a lot of this other stuff. I mean, what any other show, fantasy, good or bad,
It's all based on
writes about.
Tolkien.
Right. It
Yeah. Oh
writes
yeah.
about elves or fairies or orcs or anything like that is all based on this
Right.
man who believed in God and who was painting a picture of ultimate good versus ultimate evil,
Right.
and borrowed it. And so now it's the funny, the rest of the world doesn't realize they're using Christian motifs. Um,
Right.
and I would even argue that things like Taoism, or they were an attempt to human rationalize
Sure.
spiritual truths. And it's obviously not of God,
Right.
but they were trying to fit God into humanity, in a way that ultimately does not answer the question.
Right.
Um,
It's an attempt at the answer without understanding the full,
right.
complete answer. So,
So I think that any pastor that blanket says that this is bad because I don't agree with it or I don't understand it, um, is often dishonest, with really what they even find fun and enjoyable.
they find things fun and enjoyable. They just don't talk about it.
Right. And they won't be willing to admit that even the things that they find fun and enjoyable can be distorted if
Hmm.
taken outside of a good Christian worldview.
Right. Right.
So,
That is true. Just the younger generations just don't care as much. They just
right,
say it like it is.
right.
So
But also, I'm not also of the mind, I'm not inclined to let's preach a sermon series on why Luke Skywalker is an example of Jesus Christ. We're not going there either.
we're not going to go there.
No, that's a distortion that I don't like either.
Right. Right. I might use a reference here and there, but I'm not going to preach a whole
Sure.
series about
Right,
it.
right, right.
So, how has the week post camp? How's that been in your house? Because you had three of them
Sure.
at the house. I
Well,
mean,
it's
three of
fun.
them
Even
at the camp
last night, in youth, some of our students were live Snapchatting or something, some of your students.
with some of
And
our students. Yes, I was
yeah,
in the youth group last night. Yes.
so that's been, I guess, we talked about this. You talked about it during the video. I talked about it on Sunday morning with our church. Looking forward to Falls Creek, it couldn't have gone any better than it did, in terms of uh, the relationship between the two
Hmm.
churches, but then
Yeah.
how each of the students responded to the spirit at camp and
Hmm.
to what God has now, opened up for them in terms of other believers that they get to have a connection with for the future. So, um, we continue to reflect on that. My second daughter always talks about how she misses different girls from camp and wishes that we could see each other, and
Oh
so I
yeah.
think that's just an awesome thing.
So did your fourth child completely feel left out with the other three
No,
coming home?
the plan worked flawlessly. He got all the attention from his nana and papa, my parents,
Absolutely,
and
it's distraction technique.
right. And so now he's at camp at Cross Timbers,
Okay,
and
so he
and
gets his
getting.
camp.
Yeah, yeah. So he's good. We brought him back a gift from Falls Creek, and so that
Ah,
also smoothed it over and everything. Yeah. We actually picked him up on the way home in the church bus. So we stopped at a gas station where my parents met us, right there on the way, and
nice,
he got to jump in and ride the rest of the way with the students and talk about it all.
nice,
So
nice,
yeah.
nice.
He's going into seventh grade, so next year, whether we want to bring him or not, he's going to be there.
He'll be
Um,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
so he's a good kid. He is the youngest and
sure.
demonstrates those youngest tendencies in
Yep,
a lot of ways,
yep.
whether he likes it or not. And he wants to be the center of attention all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, typical youngest
yep,
tendencies.
yep, yep. So
Absolutely.
the hard one will be our oldest not being in these things as much anymore, going off to college. So we move her in 4 weeks from Sunday. What about yours? When
Yes.
do you Move yours
my
in.
my oldest moves himself back August 14th, I think, 13, 14. No, 12 or 13. He'll move back on
Okay.
like the Saturday before. And then we move her in on the 17th of August. That's her.
Okay.
She has a move in time to go in. So yeah, so we move her in August 17th. We'll stay a couple of days up there and then come back and
Yeah.
see what happens.
We're gonna do actually probably two move-ins because she's got to move in 3 weeks early with the band,
Ah,
and then we'll go back and do the whole freshman experience on
okay,
the actual move-in day.
okay.
Um, at OBU, they have Welcome Week,
Yeah,
and
well, we do too. Yeah, it's a
it's
big
a
deal,
yeah, it's a big deal, and so we don't want her to miss that as a
right?
freshman, and so we're gonna try to do both.
Good
But it's an
times.
hour and a half drive for us, so
Yeah,
it's not
it's four
bad.
and a half. It's 4.5 for us.
Yeah,
So, but she
and
doesn't have to go early. So that's the time frame she
yeah,
goes, and
right,
so
right.
it'll be good. Welcome week I think is happening Wednesday through Saturday, and she moves in on Wednesday. So it's
Ours is Saturday through Tuesday. Tuesday night is the walk, which is a traditional. They do it as freshmen. They walk into Rayleigh Chapel, and
okay.
then as they graduate,
They
they
walk
walk
out.
out. And so it's a bookended thing. And
Yeah,
as an alumnus, I might be driving back down on that Tuesday night just to participate in the walk
sure.
because that's going to be an emotional thing as dad and
Oh yeah,
as an
for
alumnus.
your
So
first one.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So do you think that it would be different if because my eldest is a boy, my youngest is a girl. You've got two girls, then two boys.
Right.
Do you think there would be any adjustment if the eldest had been a boy instead of a girl emotionally for you as a dad?
Oh, probably. And I mean, obviously, my baby girl, that kind of thing.
Sure.
But she is so much like me in terms of independent, bold, um, uh, even aggressive personality at times that I'm excited for her in that. Um,
Right.
I loved going off to college. It was,
Oh, I did too.
I was ready, and I didn't not want to be home. It's just I was ready to go out on my own, and I think she's got that, and so I'm excited for her. Mom isn't excited
Oh
for
no,
her
no,
on
no,
that,
no, not at all, not at
um,
all. Of
but
course,
I am.
according to your wife, there is one child everybody's a little more scared of than the other ones, and that one's still going to be at home. So,
Yeah, and we'll see. Yes, and we love our Evie. She is so she has an opinion, and if you don't agree with her opinion,
yep,
yeah,
she takes the
things
Pauline
change.
approach.
Hmm.
And this too, the Holy Spirit shall reveal unto you.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, coming out of the latest, she's my Marvel fan. So
Okay.
me and Elijah
Yep.
are Star Wars. Emma is Harry Potter primarily,
Okay.
and then Evelyn is Marvel. And she's got her favorites in there, but she gets very passionate. And so we went and saw the most recent Doctor Strange movie,
I wasn't a
and
fan.
I wasn't either. No, I wasn't. But she is
It's
a big Wanda,
oh yeah, I liked WandaVision.
Scarlet Witch. But
Yeah. It's
I started
I don't,
to talk about how evil Wanda became,
yeah,
and Evie got upset. She was not happy that Dad
she
didn't see.
did.
She did, yeah.
She did. Let's just
But
call it what it is. She did.
well, don't tell Evie that, or
Nah, well,
you will
yeah,
face her wrath.
face her wrath. Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey, as long as you can articulate your position, I'll listen to it.
yeah. Well, and she will, and she's got
Oh
her
yeah.
line of reasoning and defense and everything. And we went to Disneyland at convention, and we saw Wanda. All right.
Mm,
And in character, and Evie got to go talk to her and everything. And I was in line with her, and so I was going to ask Wanda about her boys, Tommy and Billy. And Evie got so mad. She's like, you will make her upset. She will be upset and be sad. You can't talk to this Disney costumed character
Disney
about
employee that's
right
dressed up.
about Billy and Tommy because you will make her upset.
Oh
And
my. Yeah.
so Yeah. We'll see what it's like for her off to college. I think she'll have some anxiety, but she'll figure it out too. I've got four great kids that
Yeah.
are different and independent, but they're
Yes.
gonna they're gonna grow up into productive adults, I think.
Absolutely. That's the hope and dream of all of us is that,
Hmm.
and off the
Right.
payroll. That's the hope and dream.
Yeah. Gosh, especially right now. It's
Hey,
not getting any cheaper.
our gas dropped below $4. We were singing a
See,
happy dance down here.
Tulsa, it's still not. But when I went to camp, some of these little Oklahoma towns it has, and I was like, man, at what point is it worth it to drive 30 minutes
Right?
to get cheaper gas?
Right?
So I got to do
I
a cost benefit
I,
analysis
I
ratio.
always found the quick trip on 412 in Sand Springs. It's over there on the north side of
Hmm.
412 in Sand Springs. Almost always had the cheapest gas.
Well, Quick Trip's not bad. Quick Trip is a Tulsa company, by the way.
Yes, yes.
It's yesterday it dropped from 411 to 409 midday, so we're still at 409.
Okay. We were 399 as of yesterday. So
Jeez.
very happy about that.
Yeah, no, it's sad. It's really sad.
So, hey, thanks for being on with me today and taking part with it. Enjoyed having you this morning.
Absolutely. Anytime you want to talk about anything, you and I had some great conversations at camp, and would love to do it again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, you guys, audience, thank you for being with us. Love you guys and have a